200 horsepower. That's what Honda thinks you need in a performance car in 2026. For context, a Hyundai Elantra N has 276, GTI has 241. You can get a minivan with more power than this. Either Honda has completely lost the plot, or they remembered something that the rest of the industry has forgotten. What's it like? Buckle up, my friends. Let's go for a drive. I'm your host, Brian Makse, racer, lover of driving fast, fun things. And on this channel, you get reviews for drivers from drivers. Now, in 2026, when every other manufacturer is involved in some crazy arms race between horsepower and electrification, Honda still keeps building this. A sedan powered by a 4-cylinder turbo with a manual transmission that costs less than a base spec crossover. And in 2026, that's either beautifully stubborn or completely delusional. And before we get into what this is like to drive, let's have a look at it in a little more depth. For 2026, there are no major changes, but the good news is all the updates from 2025 carry over, and some of those are actually really meaningful to drivers like you and me. The Rev-Match system is enhanced and now works for second to first gear downshifts. The chassis is stiffer from some new B-pillar and door sill reinforcements. The dampers have also been retuned. Under the hood is that 1.5-liter 4-cylinder turbo that makes 200 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 192 pounds of torque from 1,800 to 5,000 RPM. Come to think of it, the Civic Si has made 200 horsepower for the last 3 or 4, even 5 generations. Transmission's a 6-speed manual. Thankfully, there is no automatic available, and it's as if Honda looked at the market research about people preferring automatic transmissions and said, cool story, but no. It is front-wheel drive, of course, and there's a Helical limited slip diff. Wheels and tires are 18s. Curb weight is 2,952 pounds, and static weight distribution is 60% front, 40% rear, but on this channel, we know it's not static weight distribution that counts, it's how you use it. And speaking of weight, let's put it in context. This is 250 pounds lighter than a GTI and about 400 pounds less than a WRX. Honda achieved this lightness through some very special engineering. It's technically called let's not include a whole bunch of stuff people don't actually need. Subscribers get notified when new episodes drop on this channel. Non-subscribers hope the algorithm will show it to them eventually. If you want to control when you see the next episode on this channel, well, that's what the subscribe button's for. When it comes to acceleration, this will do 0 to 60 in about 6.5 seconds. And some of you may say, well, that sounds a little slow. Sure, I might agree with that, but then I have to remind you that this car costs about $31,000 US and can get 30 miles per gallon every day, all day. It's kind of like my Labrador Retriever. It's fun and it's friendly, and in this case, it's also affordable too. Let's talk about what 200 horsepower actually feels like in this SI. From 1,800 to 3,500 RPM, you get strong linear torque, perfect for overtaking, merging, or pretending you're faster than you actually are. From 3,500 RPM to redline, the power delivery stays smooth and predictable. No turbo lag drama, just consistent pull. Is it exciting? Not really. Is it effective? Yeah, absolutely. It's fast enough to be fun without being dramatic enough to be annoying, and I think that's mission accomplished, Honda. The shifter has short throws, gates are well defined, and the ratios are great for all-around driving when the corners get interesting, or the occasional or even frequent track day. And the shift feel is mechanically direct. When you actually move the lever, things happen immediately. Now let's talk about this Rev-Matching system for just a second. I don't really use it. I have it switched on right now, but if you're new to a manual or new to heel and toe, this Rev-Matching system will actually work and accelerate that learning curve. For clarity, when you downshift, the system blips the throttle in about 400 milliseconds to match the engine speed to wheel speed. That's faster and smoother than most people can manage manually. And what the Rev-Matching system does, it allows you as the driver to focus on corner entry, get that downshift completed smoothly so that you're all set up, the chassis is nicely balanced, and then you're ready to turn the wheel and pick up the throttle in the right gear for maximum acceleration. With this mechanical limited slip diff, traction under acceleration is excellent for a front-wheel drive car. The diff sends power to the wheel with grip, preventing the inside tire from spinning uselessly while the outside tire pretends it's not involved. The best part is you can use all of that available power and torque to exit corners quickly. If you want to support the channel beyond just watching, well, the merch store is open, links here and in the description below, and what that means is more time for us to produce cool episodes like this and less time worrying about manufacturer blacklists. No pressure, just an option. Steering is where this Civic Si makes its case among the competitors, because you do get some actual feel about what's going on at those front tires. A lot of chassis feedback here as well, but this steering is just perfectly engineered for the task. It's everything that modern steering should be and usually isn't. For a car at this price point, body and wheel control is exceptional, and there are a couple of reasons for it. Honda stiffened the structure with new B-pillar and door sill reinforcements, making this the most rigid Civic Si ever. Then they retuned the dampers to take advantage of that chassis rigidity. It stays relatively flat in corners, soaks up all the bumps in the road. It's cohesive in a way that's usually reserved for cars costing tens of thousands of dollars more. Brake feel and modulation is top-notch, and we don't have the fancy pants calipers of the Type R on this Civic. They're just standard calipers, standard rotors, but braking is very, very good. The pedal is firm, although not quite as firm as the Type R, and you can trail brake this thing into corners. These brakes communicate what's happening at the contact patch, and you can feel exactly how much grip you have and modulate accordingly. Overall balance is front-wheel drive done right. Not quite as sharp or as pointable as a Type R, but this car responds the way a properly engineered car should. On limit, under power, the front end will push slightly. It's physics, not a design flaw. It's there as a bit of a feedback loop for you, and you can use the throttle to adjust your line mid-corner. Lift off and the nose tucks in, the rear comes around just a little bit without any oversteer drama. Now, this Si isn't trying to save you from yourself. What it's trying to do is communicate clearly to you as the driver what it's actually doing. Ride quality is a great blend of comfort and enough control in the corners when those corners get interesting. Honda tuned this for real roads, not billiard table smooth racetracks. It's a car that feels like a performance car when you want it to, and then a normal Civic when you don't. That's the kind of versatility that separates a daily driver performance car from a track toy that's going to spend 90% of its time in your garage. The like button tells YouTube to share this video with other people like you who should see this video. And if this episode gave you more information than what's contained in a press release or a brochure, well, that's the entire ask. These seats have SI embroidered into the seat backs, which is about as subtle as throwing a brick through a plate glass window. Seriously, though, they're bolstered enough that they actually hold you in place during aggressive cornering. Seating position spot on for the Civic in a front-wheel drive performance car. You sit relatively low, the wheel adjusts properly, the pedals are perfectly spaced for heel and toe if you're into that sort of thing, and with the Rev-Matching, that kind of makes it easy. But if you want to learn how to do it on your own, we actually have an episode on this channel. It's probably the best one on YouTube, so check that out here. Links here and in the description below. Now, let's address one elephant in the Honda showroom, and that is this digital instrument cluster. In this Si, it's the LED shift light, and it's a row of shift lights at the top of the instrument cluster that light up gradually as you approach redline. Brilliant idea. And then we've got this infotainment system that, of course, does stick out of the top of the dashboard, but it comes with Google built in, as well as a 3-year data plan. It's like Honda figured out that People want their infotainment systems to work like their phones, not a computer from 2008 running Windows Vista. Visibility is excellent. Part of that has to do with how low the base of the windscreen is. That's called scuttle height. But from my perspective here behind the wheel, I can see in every direction wonderfully. These large outboard mirrors are fantastic, and adjust those properly with your rear view mirror, and blind spots aren't real. One of the things I love about this interior is this steering wheel. It's the proper shape, encourages you to have your hands at 9 and 3. It's leather wrapped as it should be, and these days it's heated because nothing says performance driving like keeping your hands warm on a cold track day morning. How do you spec yours? Thankfully, it's a very simple question to answer. What you are looking at is a 2026 Honda Civic Si in Rally Red or Rallier Red, depending on how you pronounce that, with the black and red cloth interior. In the US, this is $30,990. In Canada, it's $36,600, and these prices are before freight, taxes, fees, etc. The SI comes one way and it's fully equipped. And I think Honda built this car for people who hate dealer negotiations and option packages. You walk in, pick a color, and leave with your performance car. Just make sure that color is black. Now, before you sign on the dotted line, let's talk about what owners of modern Civic SIs are actually saying about their ownership experiences. First, the rev hang. Every turbo Honda since 2016 has had that throttle delay between shifts. The ECU holds engine speed artificially high. Owners report this has improved significantly with this latest Gen SI, but it's still noticeable in lower gears, especially if you're shifting quickly. The good news is that aftermarket tuners have figured out how to eliminate it, companies like Honda and you know the rest. And the best part, owners are saying that their car feels much better when it's tuned. Second, according to owners, the limited slip diff is good but not perfect. Under very aggressive throttle application coming out of tight corners, owners report occasional inside wheel spin, especially on bumpy surfaces. Well, that kind of sounds logical to me because it is a mechanical limited slip diff after all. But if you're serious about track work, you might want to find something in the aftermarket, and there is abundance in the Honda aftermarket. Third, fuel economy is real. Multiple owners report actually achieving 37 or 38 miles per gallon on highway runs, which is remarkable for a car this entertaining. For most owners, city mileage drops to around 25 if you're heavy on the throttle. And finally, according to owners, that individual drive mode is a bit of a hidden gem in their SIs. You can set sport steering, normal throttle response, and whatever instrument cluster color you want. And it sounds like most owners prefer sport steering as well as the normal throttle setting to reduce the whole rev hang experience. And that's the verdict from owners who actually use their Civic SIs on a daily basis. It's better, according to them, than most reviews suggest, and it's excellent for daily use. My verdict, well, it comes down to answering that question we asked from the top. Is Honda delusional when it comes to the Civic Si? And I don't think that's the case. They're solving for a completely different problem. While everyone is adding power to compensate for weight and numb dynamics, the Si makes 200 horsepower feel like enough by weighing just shy of 3,000 pounds, routing power through a limited slip diff, and building a chassis that actually communicates. Is it the quickest car you can buy at this price? Well, no. Is it the most powerful? Well, obviously not. Is this the car you'd actually want to drive every day? Probably yes, unless you hate fun, and if that's the case, why are you watching this episode? What has been bugging me, though, is that I find that this SI is in a strange place in 2026. It's got one of the last manual transmissions in a world that's becoming increasingly electrified. It also makes 200 horsepower in an era where 300 is normal. It focuses on dynamics when a lot of buyers are more interested in infotainment screens. And what also strikes me is Honda could have easily just discontinued this car, but instead they keep making it. And they're still making it the way it should be made. It's light, it's balanced, it's engaging, and it's very affordable. And in that way, this SI is a bit of a time capsule because it proves that you don't need 400 horsepower or a six-figure price tag to be engaging. And in a lot of ways, it's a reminder of what cars used to be and what they still should be. That's the 2026 Honda Civic Si. Subscribe if you want to see more episodes like this. Don't if you don't. Comments are open if you disagree, and the merch store is open if you want to support the channel. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.